Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. Welcome to the Prelims exclusive series of current affairs on Indian economy. This is a series of videos on which I will be covering the last 15 months Indian economy current affairs exclusively for your upcoming UPSC preliminary examination. So this is going to be the fourth lecture in the series. We have already covered the first three lectures, and the first three lectures were from the module banking and financial sector. So from the fourth lecture onwards, it will be external sector of Indian economy. So lecture number 4 and 5 will be on external sector of Indian economy, and here we will cover all the important facts and important topics for your upcoming UPSC preliminary examination. For those who have missed the first three lectures, which were on banking and financial sector, which is helpful for not only your civil services but also for any other examination like IBPS, RBI, NABARD, etc., you can watch those first three lectures on our StudyIQ channel, which are available on our StudyIQ channel. So this is going to be the fourth lecture in this series and the first lecture in the module external sector. So let us start. But before that, this is our channel StudyIQ, and we are providing pen drive courses for various competitive examinations including SSC bank courses, UPSC optional, SSC JE courses, teaching examination, railway examination, defense examination, RBI grade B, NABARD grade A, UGC NET, UPSC Civil Services Examination, CLAT exams for various state PSCs and also for various professional courses. You can visit our website www.studyiq.com for more details, or you can call to any of these numbers for more info. So let us start. The first topic that we will cover in this lecture is fugitive economic offender. Now, if we look at the current affair, Vijay Mallya has become the first person to be declared as a fugitive economic offender under the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. Now, after he has been declared as a fugitive offender, the investigating agency can confiscate properties of Mallya which are not directly related to the cases against him. So now let us look at what is Fugitive Economic Offenders Act and who is a fugitive economic offender. The Fugitive Economic Offenders Act came in force in the year 2018 August. Now, a person can be named as an offender under the Fugitive Economic Offender Act if there is an arrest warrant against him, or if he has involved in any economic offences and an arrest warrant is due against him, and this should involve at least 100 crore rupees or more. So minimum amount to be involved in an offence is 100 crore to be declared as a fugitive economic offender, and he has to be fled from India to escape the legal action. So these are the two conditions. First condition is that the offence should have been involving at least rupees 100 crore, and in order to escape the legal action, he or she should have fled from India. So this is the definition of fugitive economic offender. Now, most importantly, we will come to the procedure of declaring a person as a fugitive economic offender. The investigating agencies will have to file an application in the special court. So, application has to be filed in a special court, and these courts are set up under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA. So, it is a court that is set up under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act of 2002. And the application filed by the investigating agencies shall contain the details of the properties to be confiscated and any other information about the person's whereabouts which are available. And the special court will issue a notice for the person to appear at a specific place on a specific date. And at least 6 weeks would be given to the person from the issue of notice to appear on a special date at a special place. And if the person appears, the process will be terminated. Now, the person has appeared before the court. It means that the person is ready to face the legal action. So, the proceedings would be terminated. And if the person does not appear, he would be declared as a fugitive economic offender based on the evidence filed by the investigating agencies. Now, the person who is declared as a fugitive economic offender can challenge the proclamation in the High Court within 30 days. Now, the challenge has to be done in the High Court, and that too within 30 days of declaration. So these are the procedures. It is a very important topic for your UPSC preliminary examination. You can expect one question from this area. Now the second topic is FATF or Financial Action Task Force. Now if you look at the current affair, the Pakistan was placed on the grey list by the FATF recently for failing to curb anti-terror financing. So this is the current affair, and based on this we will understand what is FATF or Financial Action Task Force. Financial Action Task Force is an intergovernmental body, and it was established in the year 1989, and it was an initiative of G7. So G7 grouping is a grouping of highly industrialized countries, and FATF is an initiative of G7 countries. Now, FATF is a policy making body which works to generate the necessary political will to bring out national legislative and regulatory reforms in various areas. And the FATF Secretariat is in OECD headquarters in Paris. So do not confuse between the Secretariat and the initiative. So initiative is of G7, but Secretariat is at OECD headquarters in Paris. FATF currently comprises of 36 member jurisdictions, and India is also one among them, and two regional organizations are also part of FATF. One is GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council, and second one is European Commission, EC. So these are the two regional organizations, and apart from the regional organization there are 36 member countries and one member country is India. Now coming to the objectives of FATF. FATF tries to set out and promote standards for the effective implementation of legal, regulatory and operational measures for combating money laundering. And apart from money laundering, it also tries to regulate and curb terrorist financing and other related threats to the integrity of international financial system. So it tries to regulate and combat anything that affects the integrity of the international financial system. Two examples are money laundering and terrorist financing. And the functions of FATF includes monitoring the progress of its members in implementing necessary measures. It works in collaboration with other international stakeholders in order to identify national level vulnerabilities, and it also tries to protect the international financial system from misuse. This is briefly about FATF. Now the next topic is International Year of Millets, and this is declared by FAO. FAO is a specialized organization or agency of United Nations. We will come to the details of FAO later in this lecture. Now, the International Year of Millets has been declared by FAO, that is Food and Agricultural Organization, on its 160th session which was held in Rome. So why it is important? Because India has proposed to observe International Year of Millets in 2023. So it is according to the proposal of India that 2023 has been declared as International Year of Millets by FAO, and that is why it is more important. And also in addition to this, the FAO Council also approved India's membership to the Executive Board of United Nations World Food Programme, that is WFP, for 2020-21. And now if we look at India, India had celebrated 2018 as the National Year of Millets. So in India, 2018 was celebrated as National Year of Millets, and the objective was to promote the cultivation and consumption of millets, and this was further supported by the Indian government by increasing the minimum support prices or the MSP of the millets. Examples of millets include jowar, bajra, ragi and other minor millets, and they are together termed as Nutria cereals. And through the Department of Food and Public Distribution, state governments are allowed to procure jowar, bajra, maize, ragi, etc. from the farmers at MSP or at minimum support price. So what is MSP or minimum support price? It is the price guaranteed by the government to the farmers, and this is announced before the sowing season itself. This is to promote the cultivation of a particular crop. So this is a minimum guarantee for the prices given by the government to the farmers for their produce. Now FAO or Food and Agriculture Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations that leads international efforts to defeat hunger. So the objective of FAO is to defeat hunger, and it is headquartered at Rome, Italy. It was founded on 16th of October 1945, and the goal of FAO is to achieve food security for all. We have seen that the aim is to defeat hunger. So this is achieved by ensuring food security for all population around the world, and to make sure that people have regular access to high quality food to lead an active and healthy life. So food security, and that too high quality food, is the objective of FAO. FAO serves both developed countries and developing countries. And FAO acts as a neutral forum where all nations meet as equals to negotiate agreements and debate policies. And FAO is also a source of knowledge and information because it helps the developing countries in the transition stage. So it provides knowledge and information regarding modernization of agriculture, improvement in nutrition, forestry and fishing practices, food security, etc. So by providing such kind of knowledge and information, it acts as a source of knowledge and information as well. And the motto of FAO is "Let there be bread." And FAO has 194 member nations, 1 member organization and 2 associate members. Now let us understand some facts about millets. What are millets and what are the benefits of millets? This is very important from your preliminary examination point of view. So millet is a common term used to categorize small seeded grasses, like for example sorghum, pearl millet, ragi, small millet, jowar, bajra, etc. So these are some of the millets. Now the benefits of millets are very important for your preliminary examination. Let us see what are the benefits of millets. It can be used as food, feed, fodder, biofuels and also brewing. And millets are nutritionally superior to rice and wheat. This is because millets have higher contents of protein and they have more balanced amino acid profile, crude fiber and minerals like iron, zinc, phosphorus, etc. Now coming to the utility of millets from the health point of view. Anemia, that is iron deficiency, B complex vitamin deficiency, etc. can be effectively tackled by the consumption of millets. And millets can also help tackle health challenges like obesity, diabetes and other lifestyle diseases. Another very important facts about millet is that they are gluten free and therefore they have low glycemic index and they are high in dietary fiber and antioxidants. So these are some of the important facts about millets. They are gluten free, they can easily tackle anemia and B complex deficiencies, and also they can tackle health challenges like obesity and diabetes and lifestyle diseases. And they are also the backbone for dry land agriculture. Why? It is because it is photo-insensitive and resilient to climate change. They have low carbon and water footprint. That means they can withstand high temperatures, they can grow on poor soils, and they require only less or no external inputs. So that is why it is called backbone for dry land agriculture. So this is very important from your prelims point of view. Now moving on to the next topic, that is cross-border insolvency. First, coming to the current affair regarding cross-border insolvency, the Insolvency Law Committee on 22nd of October 2018 submitted its second report on cross-border insolvency. Now, what is meant by Insolvency Law Committee? The Insolvency Law Committee was constituted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and the objective of Insolvency Law Committee is to make recommendations or amendments to Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of India. So this is very important. Insolvency Law Committee is responsible for recommending amendments to the IBC Code of India 2016. And ILC, that is Insolvency Law Committee, recommended the adoption of UNCERT Model Law of Cross-Border Insolvency 1997. We will come to the details of UNCERT later in this lecture. So it was a recommendation of ILC or Insolvency Law Committee to adopt the UNCERT Model Law of Cross-Border Insolvency of 1997. And the UN Citral model law provides a comprehensive framework to deal with cross-border insolvency issues. Now let us understand what are the benefits of inclusion of cross-border insolvency framework. First of all, it will enhance the ease of doing business in the country. So it will provide a mechanism of cooperation between India and other countries in the area of insolvency resolution. So it will act as a protection to the creditors in the global scenario, and therefore it will make the ease of doing business further improve in India. Secondly, it will also make India a very attractive investment destination for the foreign creditors. It is because with the cross-border insolvency laws, there is increased predictability and certainty of insolvency framework. So it will make insolvency proceedings more predictable, and therefore more investments will be attracted to the country. So this will result into an increased inflow of investments into the country. Now again, we will see what is UN Citral. So UN Citral Model Law of Cross-Border Insolvency 1997. It has been adopted in 44 countries, and it forms a part of international best practices in dealing with cross-border insolvency issues. And the UN Citral Model Law gives precedence to domestic proceedings and protection of public interest. So, advantages of UN Citral. We have seen that it is a framework to deal with cross-border insolvency issues. So, what can be the advantages? The advantages includes greater confidence generation among foreign investors, adequate flexibility for seamless integration with domestic insolvency law. It goes hand in hand with the domestic insolvency law, and it also enhances international cooperation. And the UN Citral Model Law deals with 4 major principles of cross-border insolvency. So what are the 4 major principles? The first one is direct access, the second one is recognition, third is cooperation, and the fourth one is coordination. So we will understand one by one. So direct access here means that there will be a direct access to foreign insolvency professionals and foreign creditors. Again, recognition means recognition of foreign proceedings and provision of remedies. Cooperation means cooperation between domestic and foreign courts and domestic and foreign insolvency practice. Coordination means coordination between 2 or more concurrent insolvency proceedings. And at the global level, the UN Citral, that is United Nations Commission on International Trade Law, that is UN Citral, Model Law on Cross-Border Insolvency, has emerged as a most widely accepted legal framework to deal with cross-border insolvencies. This is because there is less intrusion into the country's domestic insolvency law, and till now it has been adopted by 44 states. Next topic is Dispute Settlement Body. Now first of all, coming to the current affairs, the Dispute Settlement Body, or the DSB, is related to WTO, that is World Trade Organization. Now briefly about WTO. WTO, or World Trade Organization, is an international body, and it is very important for your UPSC examination. So it is an international body that oversees international trade between nations, and it is also a forum for the nations to negotiate and develop the rules that govern international trade. So WTO governs international trade. And what is the mandate of WTO? The mandate is to reduce trade barriers, tariffs, quotas, and promoting free trade. So promotion of free trade is the mandate of WTO, and it does it by reducing the trade barriers or tariffs and quotas that act as hindrances for free international trade. Now coming to the current affair of it. The World Trade Organization's Dispute Settlement Body has set up a panel to examine the US complaint against India. So US had complained to the Dispute Settlement Body against India that certain subsidy measures are given by India, and it is acting as a distortion for free trade. So both the sides, US and India, failed to resolve this issue at the consultation level. Now, because both the countries failed to resolve this issue at the consultation level, the World Trade Organization's Dispute Settlement Body has set up a panel to examine the US complaint against India. This is the current affair, and we will come to the details of this. So the US had challenged India's export subsidy programs like Merchandise Exports from India scheme or MEIS. Now what is Merchandise Exports from India scheme? MEIS or Merchandise Export from India scheme is a part of India's foreign trade policy, and it seeks to promote the export of notified goods manufactured or produced in India. It is a major export promotion scheme of India. So the objective of Merchandise Exports from India scheme is to enhance India's export competitiveness and also to generate employment in the country. And under the MEIS, the government provides tax incentives or rebates to notified goods and products exported from the country. Now, what is the importance or significance of MEIS for India? First of all, it will help in improving the ease of doing business in India. Secondly, it will make the exports sector in India more competitive. Thirdly, it will also help in improving the infrastructure in the logistics sector. And fourth, it will help in employment generation in the country. And again, it will provide incentives to MSME sector. It will act as an incentive in order to increase the production and therefore increase the exports also. And it also supports the Make in India initiative of the government. And by exporting more, India's rupee will appreciate. So it will also lead to increase in the value of Indian rupee, and also it will bring down the current account deficit. So these are the advantages and benefits of MEIS. But on the other side, the major implications or challenges here is, one is that it is against certain international ramifications. For example, as we discussed now, US has lodged a complaint against India in the WTO. So it is against the rules of WTO. WTO is working in favor of promoting free trade. So it is a trade distorting policy. Again, there are various constraints at the domestic level. For example, infrastructural constraints, logistics, other bottlenecks, etc. So this is briefly about Merchandise Exports from India scheme, and US has complained in the WTO dispute settlement mechanism against MEIS of India. Now we will understand what is the dispute settlement mechanism of WTO. The General Council convenes as the dispute settlement body of WTO, and the dispute settlement body has the authority to establish dispute settlement panels, refer the matters for arbitration, adopt panel, appellate body and arbitration reports, and to maintain surveillance over the implementation of recommendations. Now let us understand how does the dispute settlement body of WTO works. Now, when a country fails to comply with the WTO rules, any other country can take it to the WTO's dispute settlement body. Now India has introduced the MEIS, so US has complained to the dispute settlement body of WTO. The countries are encouraged to settle the disputes through consultation. Now, the first process would be consultation. We have seen that the consultation process between India and US has failed. That is why the WTO has constituted a panel to look into this issue. So, if the consultation fails, a panel can be constituted. That is what happened in case of India and US. Consultation has failed, so a panel has been constituted by WTO. And the verdict of the panel is circulated among the WTO members. And the members are free to reject the ruling of the panel. And if the ruling is accepted and the violation is proved by the members, the country violating the rules must change its rules in line with the WTO agreements. So now the panel will give certain recommendations, and if the recommendation is accepted by the other member countries, the country that has violated the rules, they have to accept it and then change the rules according to the WTO agreements. Or the other option left out is to appeal the ruling. And if the violating country fails to do this, the complaining country and the violating country may determine a mutually acceptable compensation. So this is how the dispute settlement body in WTO works. Since it's a very important current affair, this would be a very important topic for your UPSC preliminary examination. So this is all with the first lecture in the second module, that is external sector. We will continue the external sector module in the next lecture also. So there will be total 2 lectures on external sector module, and now we have completed the 4th lecture in the series. The upcoming lecture will be the 5th one, and we will be completing the entire Indian economy current affairs for the past 1 year in 10 lectures. And I hope this lecture will be useful for your upcoming UPSC preliminary examination. Thank you for watching. You can visit my Facebook page. I shall upload the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and you can also follow my Facebook page for updates of my videos. And please write to me at joycey.studyIQ@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarifications. Thank you.